Okay, let's focus on the next part. Central nervous system. In that, as I said, we'll be discussing about one in detail, that is brain. So, when it comes to brain, we have divided brain into three different parts. Forebrain, which is also called prosencephalon, where encephalo refers to brain. Encephalo means brain. Actually, cephalo is head. Encephalo is inside the head, which is brain. Prosencephalon is the forebrain is. Mesencephalon, midbrain. Rhombencephalon is what the hindbrain is. So totally three components in the brain. In the forebrain, the important components are these. Olfactory lobes is one component. Cerebrum, very important part, largest part of the brain. In that mainly cerebral cortex. So cerebrum, diencephalon. Diencephalon again consists of three different parts: epithalamus, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Next, midbrain consists of corpora quadrigemina. We'll see what is it, and then cerebral peduncle, which is also called crura cerebri. Next, hindbrain consists of cerebellum, medulla oblongata, pons or pons veroli. These are all the different parts of the brain. All right. So write this flow chart neatly. We'll see every part one by one. First one, olfactory lobes are related to smell. You can write here itself related to smell. Uh, they are not much developed in mammals. So in humans, these olfactory lobes are not very well developed. They're well developed in the animals like, for example, shark, which have high sense of smell, right? But in case of human, they are highly decreased, reduced, and also fused with cerebrum. So we don't have much discussion on this. This is enough. Olfactory lobe. You know the meaning of olfactory, right? Olfactory related to smell. Olfactory means smell. And you know that sharks have high sense of smell. That is because of this well-developed olfactory lobes, and also dogs, for example. Right. But other than that, usually mammals won't have much developed olfactory lobes, including human. Next, cerebrum is what the important part is. So we'll elaborate a discussion on the cerebrum part. Right. So now before going into the individual details of these parts, their functions and all, let us try to understand the protective sheaths of the brain. So hope you heard these names. Meninges, yes or no? Right. So first of all, brain from outside is protected by the skull, and of course, which part of the skull means cranium. So cranium is protecting the brain. Below that, there are meninges, dura mater, arachnoid mater, pia mater. Spelling you have to be clear. It is not matter, M-A-T-T. It is just M-A-T-E-R. It's a layer. That's it. Dura, arachnoid, pia. Okay. Dura mater is the toughest one. Is in fact that's why it is called dura mater. Dura means durability. Durability means the toughness. So it is the toughest layer. Is arachnoid matter is the one where you can find a lot of blood vessels. That's why it has, what do you say, that spider-like appearance, spider web appearance will be there, no? Arachno means actually spider. So arachnoid matter is where you'll see the blood vessels, right? And the innermost one is pia. Pia is actually thin. It is directly attached with the brain. Pia matter, thinnest layer. Next, right, next one. Uh, Spinal cord is also protected, right? Will the spinal cord consists of these three layers? Meninges, what? Outermost one is, of course, vertebral column. Apart from that, meninges are present surrounding spinal cord also. So they are continuous. Brain spinal cord means the complete this central nervous system is protected with the meninges. Only thing is when it comes to this skeletal system, cranium is what is protecting this thing, whereas vertebral column here. Otherwise, meninges are common. Is it clear? No, not it done. It is passing through what means midbrain. See, whatever the numbers I have given, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are the ventricles. Are. Rest everything canals, connections. clear? Okay. Okay. So write like this: functions of various parts of brain. This is the last part in this chapter. So here, what we need to understand is we have already seen different parts of the brain. The flowchart which we have seen in that. Here we'll be adding just functions only. So first of all, like any other part, any other organ, cerebrum is also divided into two components: cortex and medulla. Right, outer part is cortex, inner part is medulla. One more thing, just before going into the functions, right? Uh, a brain consists of two different components actually: white matter and gray matter. Have you heard about this? Right. Now this one is matter, M-A-T-T-R. Okay, not layer, M-A, not M-A-T-E-R. So white matter means, as we know, um, in one neuron, cyton, axon, dendrites, of course. The major components are cyton and axon. Axon is covered with the myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is actually fatty layer, which will have the white appearance. Understood? So in the nervous tissue, if it is rich in myelinated nerves, it will be white in color. That part is what we call the white matter. If it is rich in cytons, it will have gray color appearance. This gray appearance of cytons is because of those Nissel's granules, right? So it's not like here no cytons. Here cytons will be there. Here nerves will be there. But what it is rich in is what the important part is. For example, if you see brain, in the brain, the outer part, that is surface of the brain, if you see, it is gray in color, whereas inner part is white in color. So what does it mean? The outer part is rich in cytons. That's the reason why brain will appear in the gray in color, whereas the inner parts is where you will see nerves, the myelinated nerves. That's why it is white in color. Is it clear? Add these details also. But in the case of spinal cord, it is reverse. In case of spinal cord, outer part is white, inner part will be having gray matter. Reverse exactly in case of spinal cord. Cerebrum. The functions of cerebrum, most of the functions, important functions performed by cerebrum only. Intelligence, emotions, willpower, memory, consciousness, imagination, the experience, knowledge, reasoning, voluntary controls, and the different things related to eating, laughing. micturition, defecation, all these are related to cerebrum. Right. Next, there are areas called sensory areas and motor areas. In the cortex part, there are special areas for sensory functions. There are special areas for motor functions. Right. Means what? For example, from eye, optic nerve is connected to sensory area. It is for perception of the sensations. Motor areas is for the control of different parts. Okay, just a second, I'll just show you one. Areas of cerebrum are. There are different numbers mentioned here. So if you see, for example, the green colored one is actually optic lobes. Brain cortex is actually, sorry, this cerebrum is further divided into different lobes. The names are based on the bones that we have seen, no? Right. For example, occipital bone. Below that, it is occipital lobe. In fact, the bone was called occipital bone because it covers the occipital lobe only. Occipital means what? Remember, bone name you remember, right? In the skull, that is in the cranium. So the brain, part of the brain which is present below that is what the occipital lobe is, the one which is shown in the green color. In this, for example, if you see, this is visual area. Visual area means what? It is sensory. A vision is sensation. So it is one sensory area. The same way, there is there are some motor areas. For example, you see Wernicke's area or maybe Broca's speech area. Where is it? Here, Broca's speech area, right? Or here, some premotor area, primary motor area, right? Uh, these are all different motor areas. Now, visual areas means which one? I'll just give, highlight in green. See, this sensory area, sorry. This is sensory area. Next, primary gustatory area. It is about the taste. Now, gustation is taste. Primary gustatory area or maybe primary auditory area. So the one which I have highlighted in the green here, they are actually sensory areas. Right, what I have highlighted in the red are actually motor areas. So there are sensory areas and motor areas. Sensory areas is for what? Perception. They are receiving the signals from the sensory organs. Motor areas for controlling different parts. Apart from that, there are areas in between called the association areas. Which color is different in this? Right, must see this. These are association areas. So these association areas are not sensory areas, they are not motor area. Understood? They are for the integration of the sensory and motor functions. Now we have sensory function, we have motor function. There must be integration required in between these two, right? That is done by these association areas. Is it clear, everyone? So the cortex part consists of, this is the cortex what you see. In the cortex part, there are sensory areas, motor areas, and association. Three types of areas are present. That is what we are actually showing in this. It has sensory areas, motor areas. Apart from that, association areas. What is the role of these association areas is they are intersensory. There is connection between different sensory functions. Memory, communication. These are the functions performed by association areas. Okay, so this is what given for the cerebrum. Just write it neatly. Urge for eating and drinking is there that we have. It is due to this. Hormones also secreted, which we are going to see in the next chapter. What hormones? Earlier we have discussed about this thing, drinking, where in the excretory system we have seen this, right? So hypothalamus is regulating drinking and also eating actually. Body temperature is also regulated by it. Next important thing is see properly. Now this you should not confuse. Listen properly. In the inner parts of cerebral hemispheres, the inner parts of cerebral hemispheres, there are two important components. One is amygdala and then hippocampus. These are the inner parts of cerebral hemisphere. There are other parts also, important parts of this. Amygdala, hippocampus, right? And other inner parts of cerebral hemisphere will form a structure called limbic lobe or limbic system. Now, this is what we call the limbic lobe or limbic system. This limbic lobe or limbic system plus hypothalamus are involved in the regulation of various emotional reactions, emotional things in our body, like sexual behavior or expression of emotional reactions that can be rage, fear, these kind of things. So we call this one as emotional brain, actually. Right. See this? Yeah. Yeah. So it's shown in this. So ventricles are shown in this. So optic nerves. Yeah. Oh, it is shown in this figure. See. What is labeled? I'm just showing you. Hippocampus, amygdala. This one is the amygdala, and this one is the hippocampus. You see, this is the inner part of the cerebral hemispheres. Okay, in the deeper regions, you can find this. In addition to that, there are many other structures. All these are not mentioned in the textbook, but so we are not discussing. Only these two are mentioned. So these two plus there are other components. All this is what we call the limbic system. Okay, these many components are actually there in addition to these two. So hippocampus, amygdala, etc. etc. means all these will come under this. Together is what we call the limbic system. This limbic system plus hypothalamus. So keep in mind, hypothalamus is not the part of limbic system. Okay, so limbic system means only this one only. Plus hypothalamus is what related to regulation of emotion. So this is emotional brainwaves. Right? So if clear, just write it. Thalamus actually nothing is mentioned in the book, but we'll be adding one small detail. Right, epithalamus, pineal body is present in this part. This we are going to see in the next chapter. It is actually the part of endocrine system. So we are going to see this thing. Pineal body is present in this region. So thalamus, hypothalamus, epithalamus. All these three together is what we called diencephalon. So these are the functions of diencephalon. Right. Next one, midbrain. So the function is just coordination. It is a coordination between forebrain and the hindbrain. Right. And location is very important. Located between thalamus. A thalamus means it is forebrain and pons. Pons is a part of hindbrain. Okay, so what is the exact location? Means it is present between thalamus and the pons. Thalamus is a part of forebrain, pons is a part of hindbrain. So it is a coordination center between these two, forebrain and the hindbrain. And also one point we have seen, what is that passing through this midbrain? What do you call that canal passing through this? Is it, man? Did you say something? Yes, anyone? What do you call this duct passes through the midbrain? Cerebral aqueduct. Through this only cerebral aqueduct will pass. So that we have already written. So keep in mind. Otherwise, you write once again. Cerebral aqueduct passes through this. Aqueduct passes through this. Right. Next one. Corpora quadrigemina. Now here, again, if you see the names, corpora. Corpora means bodies. Basically, corpus means body, right? Corpora is bodies. Quadri means CORDRA. Quadri means what? Four. Right. Gemina means projections. Okay, so basically there are four projections like this. Okay, these four projections are what we call corpora quadrigemina. Clear? This one consists of superior and inferior colliculi. Each means these projections are what we call colliculi. Superior colliculi, inferior colliculi, totally four, 2 plus 2, together is what we call corpora quadrigemina. So when it comes to this superior colliculi, these are responsible for visual reflex. Visual reflex means, for example, if I am uh, showing you this, that is, I am showing you a pointer here. Can you see the pointer? Right.
So when you are reading this line, corpora quadrigemina superior colliculi, automatically your eyes are actually moving on this. Or if one car is passing on the road, if you are looking at it, automatically the eyes will be moving along with that. Right? Such kind of reflex is what we call the visual reflex. Okay, it is controlled by superior colliculi. Inferior colliculi is related to auditory reflex. This is actually what we call this here, related to here. Now, if you uh, listen to one loud noise, like a cracker or something, immediately the head position will change. The startling reflex is what we call. This auditory reflex is related to that. Understood? Next, cerebellum. Now, cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. Hope you know this. Still, this one is the largest part is cerebrum. The complete brain, most of the brain is cerebrum only. Cerebellum is the second largest part is. This one is second largest part. Right. Cerebrum is not smooth structure, right? Cerebrum surface, if you see, actually what you see, the projections like this, I mean folds like this. Our brain is not smooth, no? It is actually having folds, infoldings. Okay, so these are called gyri and sulci. Sulcus in plural basically. Gyrus and sulcus. Right. Now this one is gyri. These are the sulci. If you just write like this, infoldings are there, no? This one is the sulcus. This projection is what we call gyrus. It's a technical terms. Right. So it is uneven surface. It is folded structure that consists of gyri and sulci. Cerebellum also consists of the same. So both cerebrum and cerebellum consists of these kind of infoldings. For example, I'll just show you the cerebellum ones. See this. This is the cerebellum. Okay. Now this is the posterior part of the brain. I mean head, back side of our head. And this one is the back side of our head. There you can see this thing where you can clearly see that there are many infoldings. So these are what we call gyri and sulci. Right. Also, what did I say? The outer part is gray in color, inner part is white, right, in the brain. Okay, and the white color part, that is white matter. If you observe only white matter, it is giving one tree-like appearance. So it has some tree-like appearance. If you observe it properly, it has a tree-like appearance. Right, that is what we call arbor vitae. Now, arbor means tree. You might have heard the term arboreal. Arboreal means tree-like. Now, arbor means tree. Vitae. Vitae means actually life. Vital. Vitae means life. So actually, this part was named as tree of life. It's not like it's a tree of life or something. It appears like that. So arbor vitae means it is basically white matter only present inside the cerebellum. Is it clear? Add this point also, which is also important. Arbor vitae, white matter, which is having tree-like appearance in the cerebellum. You add this point under cerebellum, under this. Right. Apart from this, coming to the functions of this thing, uh, whatever these fine movements in our body are there, they are because of cerebellum. So it's basically for the muscular movement, balancing, equilibrium, and orientation. For example, if I draw one straight line on the floor, right, and if I ask you to walk on this, you'll be able to walk because of the balance we have. Okay, it is because of the cerebellum. My alcohol directly affects this one. Alcohol actually affects this one. That's why the person will be losing the balance. Okay, is it fine now? Am I audible? Okay. So, okay, in the medulla, we have seen that respiratory rhythm center was there, no? That cardiovascular reflexes, gastric secretions, all these are present in the medulla only. So, medulla basically we call vital reflex center. There are many reflexes which are related to vital functions. That's why it is called vital reflex center. And finally, pons. The pons consists of only fibers of tracts, right, which are related to interconnection of different regions of the brain. A tract, CRACT tract or nerve, both are same only. Okay. Nerve means what? Collection of various neurons is what we call nerve, right? Tract in CNS, in PNS nerve, but both are same only. So in the brain we call it tract. Let's write this brain stem. Brain stem. This midbrain, right? Plus medulla plus pons. These three together is what we call brain stem. Okay, so this brain stem is the one which is continued as spinal cord. So see this. This is the one. Now midbrain. Okay, midbrain. Then what is the next? Medulla. And this one is medulla. In between pons. So we are talking about this part. This is what we call the brain stem. Clear, right? And this one. All this is what we call the brain stem. So pons, medulla, and the midbrain. These three together is what we call brain stem. It is continued as a spinal cord. Right. Now, apart from this, one additional thing which I haven't discussed, corpus callosum. The two hemispheres. If you see the frontal side of the brain, this is how the two hemispheres are. These hemispheres are connected by corpus callosum. So it is basically for the coordination between left and right parts of our brain. So left and right parts of these hemispheres are connected by corpus callosum. This is one thing. So practice this figure and also write every component of this. In this, you can add this one. Arbor white you can add inside this. Next, what do you call this canal? What do you call the canal passing inside the spinal cord? What? I'm talking about this canal which is passing inside the spinal cord. What do you call it? Check what you have written. What is it? Central canal. I don't know what you are writing, what you are learning. So once go through this central nervous system part completely in the NCERT now only quickly up to this part. Have you all finished reading? Any questions? Okay, then we'll end the session then with this. Next test, you'll have the syllabus up to this, right? Neural control and from plant physiology, respiration, and plants. So prepare these together.